The top beginner-friendly DIY mechanical hacks that you can do at home to save yourself money when something goes wrong with your vehicle. Another thing that could be getting your brake light on is the fact that your parking brake sensor is getting tripped for some reason. So be sure you clear that out of the possible way by ensuring that your parking brake is fully released. Sometimes it may appear that it's all the way up, but by getting in and out of the vehicle, sometimes maybe you have pushed it down a little bit, and it doesn't take much at all. See right there, I barely moved it and it comes on. But once I release it all the way, it goes off. Same thing with a hand parking brake. Sometimes you just forgot it just a little bit engaged, and by just disengaging all the way, it releases pressure on that switch and turns that light off. So now that we kind of ruled that out, now we have to move back to the front brakes and see why the ABS is kicking on. One important thing that will trip your ABS light and make it come on is when you are low in fluid or there's a lot of water and debris in your fluid. So the next thing to do is to check in here. So let's go ahead and examine our brake fluid and make sure we have enough and see if it's relatively clean. We're well up to level here, but it is dirty, and most likely it is also full of water. Brake fluid is a very hydroscopic material. It is hydrophilic. It likes to absorb the water from the atmosphere and pulls it into here. Usually it takes about a year for brake fluid to go bad once it's been opened out of the sealed container. And that is true whether it's in your vehicle and in your brake system or still in the bottle. If the bottle's been opened, about a year later, it's no good anymore. Hell, even after about 6 months of being open, you really should consider not using that bottle any longer. So buy the smaller bottles if you just need little top-ups, because if you buy the bigger one, yeah, you save per unit, but you're going to throw away a lot of brake fluid because it will be unuseful. So if this is the case that your brake fluid is dirty, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to flush your brake system. That's a bit of a more severe job, but even that can be done at home with either a vacuum brake kit, bleeder, or by doing the old school method. It just takes a lot of time. It's a time-intensive thing. But before we do that, let's move on to the next step. These are the